good. It's that time of year when everything starts heating up a little bit more in conference play. And it's a rivalry game, the second of two between South Dakota and South Dakota State. This time it's at Frost Arena, sold out, packed out Frost Arena, about 3,500. That's the capacity here at this facility in Brookings. As South Dakota State welcomes in their arch rivals from down the road and gets set to go to battle. It's the second place South Dakota State Jackrabbits, 14-11, 9-4 in the Summit League, taking on the South Dakota Coyotes, the 7th place team in the Summit League, just 1.5 games out of 3rd place for the Coyotes. So for all the ups and downs in this season, we'll touch on those with South Dakota. They are still in the mix to get that bye into the quarterfinal in Sioux Falls in the Summit League tournament. 11-14, 6-7, off of a loss, a bad loss to North Dakota last Saturday at home. The starters for South Dakota, it's Damani Hayes, 6'4" senior out of Mankato, Minnesota. Cruz Perro Hunt, leading scorer for the Coyotes, 14 points per game this season. Tassos Kameteros out of Athens, Greece, and his 12.5 points per game. AJ Plitzowite, after missing last season due to an injury, he's back this year, and he's back in a big way. Double-digit scorer at that guard position. And Mason Archambault, the senior out of Rapid City, the leader on this team that holds everything together. Not a huge scorer, 7.5 points per game for Archambault, but he is a critical piece to this Coyote team and their first-year head coach, Eric Henderson. South Dakota State, it's Matt Mims, the junior guard out of Cedar Rapids. Big 3-point threat. Just 5 points against North Dakota State in that win last week here at Frost on Saturday. Zeke Mayo, on the other hand, at 41. 14 of 25 shooting, 6 of 9 for 3 for a career high. Second 40-point scorer in Summit League action this season. Jordan Master at 46 a couple of weeks ago. Matthew Morris, redshirt freshman out of Yankton, getting the start, along with Matt Detlinger, the big man on the inside, and his interior compadre, William Kyle III, the star freshman out of Bellevue, Nebraska, who has really made a name for himself here in his rookie season in Brookings, as a guy who can really light up this crowd. Mentioned it, sold-out crowd here in partially renovated, under construction Frost Arena, 50th year of its existence as we are set to go here. Starting 5 for each side, we'll meet at center court on the old logo, the big SD in the middle, facing opposite my location at the scorer's table. South Dakota State will go left to right in their all-white uniforms with the Jackrabbit script on the front. South Dakota right to left, the block South Dakota white letters on their red threads. Tassos Kameteros and Matt Dentlinger will go for the jump here. Last time it was 82-64 in Vermilion in a South Dakota State sweep. The women won big that day by 59 here, and the men got it done later in the night. Well, the women won today earlier, and the men are trying to do the same here tonight and get a South Dakota State sweep over South Dakota during this regular season. First shot missed by Moores. South Dakota going the other way. Archambault, near side wing. Gets it up to Kameteros. Kameteros trying to dribble handoff to AJ Plitzowite. He's tightly guarded there by Zeke Mayo. Special scorer, strong defender as well, as Mason Archambault gets the scoring going for South Dakota. Kienan Dixon here with you on the Summit League Radio Network for this South Dakota Showdown Series matchup. All South Dakota this year, rather South Dakota State this year. Inside to Dentlinger, kicks it out to Mims, top of the key, about 25 out, gets it out to Mayo, near side wing, also same distance. Dribbles to the corner, draws a double team. Dentlinger on the interior, about 8 feet out, battling on the inside, gets the floater to go. Over to Damani Hayes. That's a mismatch with Dentlinger, 6'8", Hayes just 6'4". Last time these two teams played, it was Dentlinger that was the star. 26 points and 8 rebounds in that dominating performance in Vermilion. There's a long triple from Tassos Camateros, and it's 6-2 Coyotes on a couple of threes from opposite wings. 90 seconds into this, 6-2, South Dakota on top. A win for South Dakota here would be the first time that they've won against South Dakota State in 5 meetings. It's a 5-game losing streak against their rivals. Mims drives in from the top of the key, pocket pass inside to Dittlinger. It's blocked, and a foul is called as Dittlinger was going up for the layup. Mentioned those 5 meetings. Last loss for South Dakota State here at Frost Arena was to South Dakota. 64-56 back in February 5th, 2021. Season where teams were playing doubleheaders against each other as Dittlinger's first free throw rims in and out. An 85% free throw shooter hits the second, and it's a 6-3 lead here 2 minutes in for South Dakota. South Dakota State has won 18 straight here at Frost, one of the best winning percentages in the country at home, rather the best over the past 10 seasons at home. Big block, and the goaltending is called. Cruz Perro Hunt was trying to get a little floater over the top of William Kyle III, and Kyle swatted it out to mid-court, but it was already on its way down. Showing the replay now, and there's your reaction from the home crowd disapproving of the call. 8-3 here, early. South Dakota on top. Gotta imagine Zeke Mayo's gonna get involved at some point. Hasn't quite yet. Kyle III, short corner, kicks it out, near side wing in front of South Dakota's bench to Mims, and he misses it. Bounces in and out. Tight rims for Mims there, who's normally a strong 3-point shooter. Blitzawhite driving in, tries to get penetration, gets it to Cruz Perro Hunt. Camateros trying to dribble handoff again, tightly guarded by Dittlinger. Here's Archambault. Long 2, gets a nice bounce, and a difficult rebound collected by Kyle III as he was battling with Damani Hayes, both coming down with it at the same time. Here's Mayo off the screen from Dittlinger. Draws the foul, non-shooting foul. Foul on Mason Archambault. That's his first.
Substitution for the Jackrabbits, number 34, Alex Arias.
8-3, 3 minutes in, just about. Alex Arians checks in. Played 35 minutes last week, had 15 points on 5 of 10 shooting against North Dakota State in that 90-85 dramatic finish here as he drives into the lane and gets a 5-foot floater to fall. It's 8-5 here with 16:45 left in the first. AJ Blitzawhite bringing it up. Redshirt sophomore out of Vermilion, hometown, and now playing in his city. 15 on the shot clock. Cruz Perro Hunt drawing the screen from Camateros. Dittlinger meets him way out, picks his pocket, has it, hands it off to Mims for the wing. 3 short, and it bounces off of Alex Arians. Actually, it bounces off of Mason Archambault. Will stay with Arians and his South Dakota State Jackrabbits. 8-5, 16-30. Left here in the first. Inbound to Kyle III, dribble handoff to Mims. To Dittlinger, now to Mayo. Guarded tightly by Archambault. Archambault takes pride in his defense. Inside pass to Dittlinger, and he draws the contact from Camateros. 13 fouls. First foul on Tassos Camateros, and 3 quick fouls here in less than 4 minutes for South Dakota. Free throws could come into play in this one. South Dakota State, a strong free throw shooting team. 79% this season, as opposed to 77% for South Dakota. Dittlinger makes the first and swishes the second, and it's an 8-7 game. 16:10 left in the first half. Blitzawhite bringing it across the timeline, met by Mayo at about 30 feet out. Gets it over to Archambault. Off-ball foul on Matt Dittlinger, as him and Tassos Camateros are already starting to go at it. Camatero's 6'8", Dentlinger's 6'8". They both match up. Very similar styles of play. Baseline inbound. Gets it to Camateros over to Plitzwhite. Hesitation. Thought about shooting it. Dentlinger was in his face. Kicked it out to Camateros. Long wing three for Plitzwhite. Short. Mims brings it up on the long rebound. Quickly inside to Dentlinger. Near side block, kicks it across to Arians. Fall away 2, and he hits it. Neat left-handed shot. He's almost sideways when he's looking at the basket, but he still gets it to go. Arians gives the Jackrabbits their first lead of the game. Dribble handoff to Cruz Perro Hunt, far side wings at the free throw line. Floater gets it to bounce on the back iron and roll in. And it's 10-9. South Dakota's on top. 5 minutes into this one. Arians brings it across the timeline, gets it far side wing. Swinging it back and forth. Quick passes here, not a ton of isolation play for South Dakota State. Trying to get Zeke Mayo open top of the key. Tightly guarded. South Dakota has him in his game plan. Offensive foul called on William Powell III as he was trying to drop step. So the charge it is. Freshman gets tagged with it. And we hit the under 16. 10-9. South Dakota on top. Here in Frost Arena. 14:51 left in the first. Here on the Summit League Radio Network.